It's Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's time for What If Deku Was Spider-Man Final. The finale of this What If. Man, it's gonna be crazy. Actually, no, it's really not. Next week is gonna be a full-on new What If week, which is gonna be crazy. With What If Asta, well, starting off that week on Monday is what if Asta had light magic? And then that Wednesday will be what if Deku had an elemental quirk? And then Friday, it's what if Naofumi was the Knuckle hero? Brass Knuckles, okay. He's gonna have like bop bop. He's gonna be punching. Okay, I can tell you that much. He's gonna be just punching. Alright, alright. I hope you watch at least two of those. Uh, at least give them all a shot. The Naofumi one might be bad at first because that's my first time. It's my first time doing a Naofumi What If. Um, and actually, the day I'm recording this, a new episode of the new season of uh, Shield Hero, The Rising of the Shield Hero, is actually out, which is funny. Uh, yeah. This might be uploaded late because it's been raining all day and this is the first I think it's actually done or maybe it's off and on, I don't know. But anyways, um Midoriya's actually going to be part of All for One's fight, like that side of the fight, instead of being over at Shigaraki as of right now. Okay, so yeah, so actually let me get a drink of water and then we can get into this. All right, so right, okay, okay, okay. Everything as in canon will be happening. Well, as in canon. Okay. People got switched around to fight Shigaraki. Okay, and All for One. Uh, everyone's still basically the same. Okay. Same like people, places. Right. Okay. Cool. Cool. Let me think. Okay, where do I want to start this at? Oh, right. I never really stated who has One for All. It's Mirio. Okay. Uh, also, Ida is back being a hero because of Eri. Uh, right? Or actually, either Bakugo or Mirio would have it. Like, Mirio got it after he lost Premonition. Okay? But then he got Premonition back because of Eri. training really hard to help him. Okay. So yeah, Mirio's over at Shigaraki fighting him. Okay. Everyone would be in their spots. Izuku, though, he would be with, well, fighting All for One, that group, with Endeavor and Hawks, Tokoyami, Jiro, and many others. Okay. So Midori would start on the bottom fighting the people down there as Hawks and Endeavor would battle with All for One. Okay. Right. And eventually he would take out a lot of enemies. Cool, cool, cool. Right, right. You would see Endeavor do the plus ultra prominence burn, scorching All for One, burning him head to toe as he would use the whatever he used. It's like a like Doctor Garaki Kudai. Yeah, Garak. How are you saying? Not evil doctor, right? Uh, he re visualized the quirk canceling drug and made it to where it would rewind all for one, like his actual body, so that he would be younger. Like that thing. He used it in the anime and manga, right? And then after he'd use that, he'd start to regrow. He'd start to like, yeah, know what happens. Okay, okay, okay. That's when Midori would, or Izuku rather, Izuku would get into action. He would web, he would actually grab, uh, this is before Endeavor would lose his arm, right? Okay. He would, Izuku would web up there, right? Like Endeavor got knocked to the ground, Hawks is fighting. Okay. Midori would web up, just start shooting webs at him. Okay, he would just start doing just shooting webs, just ding 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 ding, and just webbing him up. As Tokoyami and would, Jiro would do her attack, and then uh, Tokoyami would use Dark Shadow to just enlarge. Well, he would. What was it? It was I forget. I know it's not Sabbath because that's like his armor. Ragnarok Room is the. I think it's just Ragnarok. No, it's like I forget. But that big move where Dark Shadow goes huge and he would just start waylaying onto All for One. Doosh, doosh, doosh. Right. Doosh. That sounds like a song. I guess I just can't put it that wording. But right, he would just bash into him as Midoriya would say, well, he would web back down to Endeavor and say, I'm gonna get you. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I got a plan. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we can certainly try. Okay, I just need him stood still, and then he'll have so much venom in his blood system that he won't be able to move. And then you could promise burn him. He'll most likely heal, but fast. But that would give you enough time. I can paralyze him. I got that poison. I got that too. But yeah, I'll paralyze him. Okay. I'll hug onto him, just into the sides of his neck, one in the neck, one in the ribs. Okay, you're talking way too fast. Sorry, but it's real stressful. Okay, I'm a teenager. I'm also a clone. but I have not made that. I don't tell that to Bach. He'll probably break down. Okay, I'll explain it later. Okay. So, like I said, I'll get you up there. You stay in the air. Okay. Get like Cox to help you up in the air. I don't know. But yeah, I'll get him stuck in the air. Okay. I can't turn off corpse. I'm not like Mr. Aizawa. But anyways, I'll put stingers into him. Okay. You get my point. You just get ready. As he would web back up, or as Tokuyami and Jiro would get blast away, and you and all for one would will arise into the air. Midoriya would swing up there and say, "Hey, actually, I don't know what I was gonna call you, but ballsack face, sure, all for one." But anyways, he would web up there, call him the name. He would web behind him, web back up to him, like he would web down to the ground and then web back up behind him. Venom point. He would bring out his stingers, put his paralyzation venom into him. As actually, I forget what the stab quirk was, but the red beams. You know what I'm talking about? Like the was it Servit, Fervit, Turvit, Sturvit, stab. I don't remember. It was one of those quirks. Would it go out? It would go through Midoriya. He would say, "This is why I leave it to the number one," as he would raise his fist and just break the one that went through him. As he would fall down to the ground, he would be caught by somebody. Hawks. Hawks would fly through real quickly, grab him up, and then go to the ground. As Hawks would say, "Good job, kid. Thanks." As he would lay him down and get back up in the air to grab Tokuyami, right? As Jiro would run up to Midoriya and say, "Ugh, okay, don't, I'll be fine. I hope. I mean, it's very similar to Stain's entire gimmick. Still got him, though. Okay, can't stand, I can't stand." But as that would happen, Endeavor would grab him again as Revert, or whatever the like blades are, would go through his arm. He would do whatever as he would prominence burn plus ultra again as he would have been thrown away, as his arm would just be cut off, as he would do that big boom, like he would make a flame hand on the one side and he would punch. I don't remember. Okay. I recently rewatched it. Not that fight. I rewatched Midoriya's fight with Shigaraki where he uses overdrive. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking about like an idea. What if he just had overdrive? Just overdrive. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I was thinking about an idea of just him having Fajin, because Fajin is honestly my favorite quirk of like the uh all for one like successors like quirks. It's just so cool. Fajin, such a cool name too. Fajin. Okay, and then you like yeah. But you get my point. You all probably watched My Hero, hopefully. But right after he would do those two big attacks, All for One would still heal, but yet he would age down quite more than he was in canon. See, in canon, around this time, he would have been like in his 50s, maybe, I think, or an adult. or maybe 30s. Somewhere I don't remember exactly, but he was around that age, right? And then once he fought All Might, Iron Might, he would was around like a teenager, correct? I believe. I think. At least that's what or like a young adult, like 20s, mid 20s, 20s, early 20s. I think maybe. I don't know. I don't know exactly. Okay, I don't know exactly, but right as he would go, like Author One would escape, portals would open twice, or Toga's doubles would open because Kuragiri got out. Okay, like twice. Well, Toga's doubles of twice would appear or come out of that portal. Midori would say, "Oh, come on, endeavors somewhere." Okay, Hawks went off one way. He was fighting. Okay, yep. Hey, Juro. Yeah, I got an idea, and it might just work. All right, tell me your plan. We're gonna make some sound work with web wire. Okay, he would use web wire for this tag team move that he has with Jiro. Jiro or Jiro? Jiro? Gyro? Jiro? But anyways, they Midori would have her get on his back. He broke the back part of the blade, like so it's shorter. Like it's barely sticking out of his back. The front one, so he's not bleeding like profusely or blood eating or ketchuping, right? Not profusely. Okay, he's not. He's like red stuff is dripping from the blade, right? Okay, but not as much as there was the like it was as it would be as a open hole. Okay, but as he would web up, he would just start shooting web wire webs into the mass of twices of the said sad man's death parade. He would just start shooting these webs over and over, right? And then Juro would grab just a, some, and then a bunch of like rebirth, like sound waves would just burst out of them. All the twices would cover their ears, and some would start to melt. And uh, Izuku would say, "We need more. We need more sound." But yet, and more webs. He would start shooting more and more. Okay, and he would hope the heroes in there would be okay. He doesn't know. He does not know where any of them are. Uh, he would hope to see uh, like Hawks or Tokoyami or somebody somewhere. Okay, he would just hope, but yet he has not seen them. But his spider senses would go off as a knife would fly by his head and cut like the side of his cheek, like cut the side of his face. As he would look down, see where it's coming from, he would shoot a web down immediately. It would actually attach to Toga, like mid chest, and then he would just start spread shotting just multiple like balls of web wire around, more of them and more. As Juro would go once again, the sound waves would go again, reverberating. you could see the like actual like toga just start like violently like shaking, like what is happening to me? But right, and then Oraka would and her would go have their fight. Okay, but like I said, the sound waves are going off. The twice doubles, at least in this area, are down to like minimal numbers to where the heroes are back up on their feet at least a little bit and are able to finally fight back. And Izuku would keep on doing this until he couldn't. He's like webs would nearly run out, but he would be able to. He would do the last little bit he could from up in the air, and then Joro once again using the sound work. Well, this move of theirs, using it again, and the numbers of twice doubles would cut down more and more and more because of the other heroes and Izuku and Jiro are the heroes, right? And then Midori would say, "I just got enough for these," as he would make uh, the web gliders, as he and Jiro would fly down or glide down to where he thinks or to the ground. And lucky enough, he would see Hawks and Tokoyami down there as he would glide down, and he would say, "Jiro, I do not have enough strength in my legs to actually land and take the blunt force of it. I mean, he'll still take the blunt force of it, but he's gonna fly. Well, I'm just gonna say what he does. He would fly down and he would say, Juro, jump! As she would jump, Midoriya would web her to where she would have a softer landing, but his gliders would just are so weak at this point they would just like blow away as he would just crash into the ground. Juro would scream out Izuku as uh well actually I knew his name. Or you know what? I know Cammy. Okay. Okay, I know Cammy. Cammy would run over to Jiro, Hawks, and Tokoyami. Whoa! Uh, Unaliving that hunk would turn me into my grieve era. I love that. I love Cammy. She's amazing. She's just so funny. But right. Uh the other two Shiketsu students, well, actually, the other Shiketsu students would help out with the remaining twices, okay? And then, uh, well, Cammy would be there to check on Tokoyami and Hawks. And then Juro would run over to Izuku, just he would be awake enough to where he would say, Man, that hurt so much. I think it knocked this thing loose. Yeah. As he would start patting his back, and he would say, "Yep, yeah, it did. Okay, yeah, I need help." Okay, yeah, let's go. Yeah, this is certainly fun. He would be brought over by Jiro to like Kami and Hawks Tokoyami, as he would fall to his knees and he would say, "I'm not done yet." As he would have to wait there. He would like tear a sleeve off of his suit, tie it around his uh, stomach tightly, as he would say, I gotta go somehow make it to Bakugo. Well, Katsuki. Now, you can't make it there. You'll most likely die if you make it there. By the time you make it there, you're done. You're right. Wish I could help better than I did. Where does where did Hawks' wing go? Maybe I'm seeing stuff. There is a lot of blood over my head, on my head, in my eyes. This is what you choose, red and black as your color scheme. They can't see you bleed. Is that really why you chose it? A big part of it. And then other heroes would run over because they took down the other, well, the twices, the doubles. They found Uraka, Tsuyu, and other heroes within the muck of whatever twices doubles are made out of. I don't know. But, right, as I said, heroes would start to lick their wounds, well, try to heal up. Izuku would say, well, that one's not fully filled yet, but one is. I'll use my right arm to swing around my left to do deadline. Okay. Okay. Yep. Oh, this. I gotta get there. And he would say, "Hey, I'll be fine." And he would web up his wound like on both sides, so where it's just kind of like a blood sac at this point, sort of, sort of. I don't know, but you get my point. As he would start to, well, mostly run because there's not, well, I know there's trees, but not enough to really like consistently web on. So he would either, there's such an easier way to do this. Scratch all that, he wouldn't go yet. He would find the wind guy, the one with the wind quirk, the Shiketsu student, and ask him, blow me up into the air so I can get there. Like, okay, so yeah, that was his entire plan. He gets the Suketsu student to use his wind quirk to push him up in the air, right? Like up to the clouds. I don't know, but high enough, right? And then he would make his web wings, and then he would start to glide, right? He would glide. Uh, he would honestly just he would see some type of fight down below him. This being All for One's and Iron Might's fight. He would see some type of fight, but he would say, "You know what? Oh, screw it. I don't know who it is. It could be easily two villains settling an argument. He just does not know. He's just going past and hoping for the best. If it is a hero versus a villain, he's just hoping for the best, right? And eventually, he would make it to the flying base. He would web through the way. He would see heroes on the ground. Bakugo, well, Mirio would be gone. He would land on the ground. He could see that's Genist laying. He sees a lot of people laying. Okay. He would run over to Tamaki and Nejire and ask, "Hey, where's Mirio?" They would say, "Somewhere out there. We don't know." And how did you get here? Reasons. Somehow. As he would run over, he would see, he would say, "What the hell?" I feel like I should have known there would be at least some type of rabbit in this anime. Like Lady Rabbit. Should have knew. Don't question it. And he would run past, he would see Best Genus and say, Beth, as he would stop in his tracks. He would run over to Bakugo. Best Genus would say, Edshot is in there. Trying to well, actually, this would be after. Like, Eggshot is actually re-pumping his heart to keep him alive. Right? He would drop to his knees in front and he would say, He's dead. He is so dead. I don't care about no stupid one for all vestiges telling him I don't even know who they are. Okay? Oh, you were supposed to kill. I've already killed a villain. He's already unalived. Another one for the books. As he would web out, just swing out, right? He would see some type of clashing in the distance as he would web over. And eventually, he would join Mirio's and Shigaraki's or Tenko's Shimura's fight. Lemillion, the symbol of hope. That feels weird to say. Symbol of power versus the symbol of destruction. I don't know. No, that's what I'm going to call it. Okay? So, as he would arrive, he would crouch down on a building a little bit farther away from the fight. He would start to make a plan. If Mirio ever gets blasted away, he's gonna run in deadline like his chest and make sure he just corrodes. Even if he goes down in the process, he does not care. Okay? He just does not care at this point. He's ending this guy. And his plan would go semi to plan. Mirio would get hit away into a couple buildings. They would collapse on top of him as Shigaraki would start to walk over menacingly. And then Midoriya would web to him right behind him as he would web him to the back. Okay? Web his back and then jump over him, web him in front of him with like two webs out of out of his left hand arm. He would web him twice as venom would corrode it. Will start to go onto it as Midoriya would jump up in the air. This is where your story ends, Shigaraki. I may just be a clone, at least I'm more human than you are, and I'm a clone. As Shigaraki would just nearly touch the webs to decay them, Mirio would come in with power, right? Punch his arm away, right? His arm would go all the way back around, like his back, it would break it would break his arm, which he would nearly instantly heal. But Mirio would give just take out both. Well, keep on just fighting him as the webs would be covered in this, well, his uh, lethal poison. Okay, as it would corrode, it would finally get to Shigaraki. Then Shigaraki would decay the webs as Midori would take out his stinger. Just the decay would get to his arm or his hand. He would cut his hand off. Just get rid of it then and there. Okay, his stingers are sharp, my guy. He would just cut his arm off, or not arm off, but his hand off, right? Like wrist up, gone. Like his entire left hand's gone. Okay, he would be flying, well, in the air. Sorry for the background noise if you can hear it. But he would be flying through the air. He would say, "That's your deadline." As he would fall backwards, he would web a building. He would throw himself to the building, and he would yell out to Lemillion, "Hey, Lemillion, you said you were going to save millions, right? Then do it in this for all of us." As he would be just sent flying, right? Uh, he would actually land a little bit, like just he wouldn't hit the water. Okay, he wouldn't hit the water, but he would nearly hit the water, like where the flying base was. Okay, that's where he would be. Okay, heroes would start to get down. Blah blah blah. Bakugo's safe. Midori would be laying there, like the webs, the on his like stomach would just burst like a balloon. Okay, just both of them from that fall, they would burst. Now he's ketchuping a lot from his stomach because he ate a lot of ketchup. Yeah, you all know what I mean. I hope you do at least. Right. Anyways, so time skip. Well, the heroes would win. Obviously, that's what they always do. That's what's so good about heroes. They always win. They would win. Midoriya, uh, he would finally spill the truth to Bakugo about him being a clone. All the fights would end as in canon. Um, Actually, I don't know much about All Might and, well, Iron Might and All for One's fight. Young for All. I don't know much about their fight as in the manga. I don't know enough about it to actually make. Well, it happens as in canon either way. Okay. Uh, Bakugo would be speechless after the whole entire, well, him being explained how Midori is a clone of him, which he kind of speculated as he got older, because they're nothing alike, like at all. Like they don't have similar quirks or anything like close to each other. Uh, right? He always speculated like I'm pretty sure twins are pretty alike. Maybe I don't know. But right, he would speculate something by that point, but before that point, before he was actually told the truth. Midori would have a mechanical hand, right? A prosthetic hand, which he can still shoot webs. He didn't cut off his gland to like shoot webs out. Okay, that it did like the actual like tube to his like wrist area would take time to heal, but he would be able to use it within a couple, 5 months, a couple months, right? A few months, right? So, yeah, uh, this isn't going to be like the usual, like, ending. I mean, sort of, but I don't have the music saved on my phone anymore. But if you would like to, I recommend you listen to it after you watch this. Swinging on by the web on the web. Swinging. Well, Rustages. Spider-Man rap. I recommend it. Listening to this after it. Uh, because that's what I usually do with the finals. I play the song that I played at the sports festival here. Okay. Uh, so yeah, pretend that's playing in the background. Okay. I'm gonna do like an in credit scene, like where you just like where the names would pop up, but it's not gonna happen. Uh, okay. So in Midoriya's agency now, well, him and Bakugo's agency, uh, we would see, well, we would zoom in through the window, we would see Midoriya's, like, uh, desk. Yeah, his, like, office. Okay. Uh, desk, computer, couple pictures. Okay. Those pictures would be, well, one of them would be him in class 1A, him with like class 1A and the teachers. Okay, it would be like that picture. One picture would be him and his family. Um, on the other side of the desk, there would be him at his wedding with Juro. And then the last picture would just be him and his brother. Uh, well, Bakugo. Well, him and his. Well, I guess they would still call each other brothers because that's kind of what they were raised to become. Even well, they are biologically created, like biologically brothers, uh, just not in like the regular means. uh, right. Uh, yeah, that's where I'm gonna end it for today's episode. Uh, thank you all for watching. I can't wait to see. Well, okay, so for if any of you watch my other two, well, my other What If, the final will be coming out Friday. For my What If Naruto, had Poison release. Okay, which is that's this upcoming Friday, and then next week uh, is the new What Ifs, which on Monday it is. I'm gonna say these again if you have forgotten. Which is on Monday it's What If Asta had a light magic. On Wednesday, it is What If Deku had an elemental quirk. And on Friday, it's What If Naofumi was the Knuckle Hero. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Rate me 1 through 10 if you wouldn't mind. Uh, tell me if I should do this again in the future for like a remastered version of it. Um, yeah, and if you have any what if ideas, put them down in the comments. If Okay, just put them down below. Uh, but yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this episode, well, this final part of What If Deku was Spider-Man, and I hope to see you all next time. Roll the dice, and bye.